Well, welcome back to the Prospect Hub. We're talking about Mets prospects, and we're winding down the minor league season. Sort of a mixed bag this year. The pitchers have done a great job, but the Met offensive players, the position players, did not do a great job this year. A lot of them were injured. Drew Gilbert, Jet Williams, Ronnie Mauricio, and some guys are taking a step back, like Kevin Parada and Alex Ramirez. Alex Ramirez is taking a major step back. I don't know where he's going to fit in after this offseason. When this offseason begins, who knows where that's going to go. But I need you to hit that subscribe button and let me know what you think about this. This is from Mesmerized Online. They do a great job, and I thank them for all season long. An amazing avenue. Mets Minors weekly recap or report. 2024 draftees take over St. Lucie. Now, the St. Lucie team has been bad all year. They're 40 games under 500, which makes no sense. I don't know how a minor league team can be bad, but this past week in the Mets minor leagues was headlined by brilliant performances from some of the Mets 2024 draftees. Carson Bench from Oklahoma. Corey Collins. Corey Collins was also, like we mentioned, was played for Georgia Tech, I believe, and he batted behind Charlie Condon. So he's a prospect of note. So keep an eye on him. He's a first baseman. And Nick Roselli all hit their first pro home runs with Eli Serrano III. Also had a great week at the plate in St. Lucie. Will Watson and Ryan Lambert also made their pro debuts, with Watson recording a scoreless outing in St. Lucie and Lambert recording a scoreless outing in Brooklyn. Okay? It's a AAA team, and they had a good year. Syracuse Mets split their series with the Lehigh Valley Iron Pegs, each team winning 3 games. Split puts Syracuse at 25-31 the second half of the season and 71-59 overall, but the second half obviously wasn't good. But they've had a winning record. Luis Angel Acuna paced the team with 10 hits in the 6 games, including a triple and a home run. He drove in 6 runs and stole 4 bases. He didn't get tabbed for a September call-up this year, as the Mets want him to play every day. He had a fantastic week to increase his AAA OPS to 671. I'm curious to see if he'll be in the Dominican Winter League. That maybe he'll be playing, or maybe be in the Arizona Fall. It's a possibility too. Carlos Cortez also looked really good, scoring 7 hits, including 3 doubles and a home run. The 27-year-old outfielder owns a 797 OPS in Syracuse this season. Yoma Sanchez was on base a ton, going 8 for 19 with 3 doubles, a triple, a home run, and 4 walks. Sanchez owns a 701 OPS for the Mets this year. Brandon Sprout made 2 starts this week. Those first start, 4 2/3 and 4 runs, was nothing to write home about. He looked more like himself in his second start of the week, when he went 5 1/3 scoreless innings and struck out 6. Between the 2 starts, he allowed 4 runs in 10 innings and struck out 11. He owns a measly 6.75 ERA in 5 starts with Syracuse. The top 100 prospect may finally be settling in at AAA. I do not expect him to be with the Mets this month. I really don't, because he did not have a good time in AAA. Mike Vassell also continues upward trajectory for the Mets, allowing 2 earned runs in 6 innings in his latest showing. Vassell owns just a 5.54 ERA this year, but he's gone at least 6 innings in 5 of his last 6 starts, and he owns a better but not great 4.48 ERA in his last 13 games. Out of the bullpen, several relievers had fantastic weeks. Max Kranick, who has a 3.27 ERA, struck out 5 3 2/3 perfect innings, while Justin Jarvis and Shotaro Fujinami each went 3 scoreless. Jarvis owns a 5.71 ERA in Syracuse and a 4.20 ERA overall, while Fujinami owns a 6.29 ERA in AAA, but has a 1.50 ERA with 14 strikeouts in his last 8 innings. Very careful, Fujinami. He has not pitched well in the major leagues. He's fool's gold. He throws hard, but is always struggling with his control. Additionally, Eric Orsi, who owns a 3.23 ERA in Syracuse, struck out 4 in 2 perfect innings, while Alex Young struck out 2 in 2 perfect innings. He was recalled on September 1st. for the Mets big league roster. And Matt Cage also threw 2 scoreless innings. Young owns a 4.91 ERA in Syracuse, but has been much better in the majors this year, while Gage owns a 4.85 ERA in Syracuse. The Binghamton Rumble Ponies, this is in Double-A, struggled in their series against the Hartford Yard Goats, dropping 5 out of 6 games. Binghamton won a 1-run game in the series opener, but dropped the final 5 games. Only 3 Binghamton offensive players really showed up this week. Among them was top prospect Ryan Clifford, who led the team with 8 hits, including 2 doubles and a home run. With his performance, Clifford raised his OPS, Double-A OPS, back to .815. Matt Reddick also stood out in the series, going 7 for 19 with 2 home runs and 3 walks. Reddick has been solid all year for the Rumble Ponies, owning a .733 OPS. Wyatt Young was the final standout offensive performer, going 6 for 17 with a double, 4 walks, and a stolen base. The 24-year-old increased his season OPS to .756 and earned the promotion to AAA, where he spent part of the 2023 season. Jordan Gebber made 2 solid starts for the Rumble Ponies, allowing 2 runs in each start. In total, he allowed 4 runs across 11 innings and struck out 6. Jonathan Pintaro continues his impressive season, which started in independent ball, allowing 1 earned run and striking out 5 across 5 2/3 innings in his latest start. Pintaro has truly come out of nowhere for the Mets this year, as he owns a 2.69 ERA in 14 appearances in the Mets organization, including a 2.96 ERA in 5 starts in Binghamton. Joshua Corneli, Cam Robinson, and Junior Santos were Binghamton's standout relievers, with each tossing at least 3 scoreless innings. Corneli has an impressive .087 ERA and 6 appearances with Binghamton, while Robinson owns a 3.57 ERA and Santos owns a 5.06 ERA in Double-A. High A Brooklyn. The Cyclones won their series against the Winston-Salem Dash, winning 4 games to Winston-Salem 2. Brooklyn's series win puts them at 28-32 in the second half of the season, 61-65 overall. Jeffrey De Los Santos had a fantastic week, leading the team in both batting and slugging. He went 6 for 18 with a double, a triple, and a home run, in addition to 2 walks. DeAndre Smith also had a really good week. He was another player that was injured most of the year. Had led the team of 8 hits. Smith recorded 2 doubles, 2 walks, and 3 stolen bases. He is not rated as a prospect. Just wanted to mention that. But all minor leagues are prospects at some point. Just in terms of it all depends on where they are, up and down, or whatever. Nick Morabito, a prospect of note, continued to demonstrate his impressive bat speed with 7 hits, including a home run, and 4 steals this week. Morabito owns a .730 OPS for Brooklyn this year, and continues to lead the Mets minor leagues in batting and stolen bases. Zach Thornton and Jack Winninger also had good starts, with Thornton striking out 4 and 5 scoreless innings, and Winninger striking out 5 and allowing 1 earned run in 4 1/3 innings. Thornton had a rough start to the year in St. Lucie, but he owns a 3.72 ERA in 5 games in Brooklyn, and is a similar story to Winninger, who has a 3.38 ERA in 9 appearances in Brooklyn. Ryan Ammons also continued his fantastic year, striking out 6 and allowing a run in 3 1/3 innings. Like Thornton, Winninger, and Ovalis, Ammons had trouble in St. Louis at the beginning of the year, but he has a 1.47 ERA, 13 appearances with the Cyclones. I would mention about Ryan Ammons. The Mets picked him up in a trade from the Red Sox last offseason. He's left-handed. He is an interesting guy that is not a rated prospect, but I've been reading a lot about him over the last few weeks. And finally, the St. Lucie Mets. They split their final home series of the season, taking 3 games against the Jupiter Hammerheads. It was a good offensive series for the Mets, who scored 31 runs in 6 games, though the team allowed 29 runs too. The Mets are now 21-37 in the second half of the season, and 43 and 81 overall. First round pick Carson Bench from Oklahoma led the group in hits, home runs, and RBIs, going 8 for 22 with a double, his first 2 pro home runs, and 7 RBIs. In his first 11 pro games, Benj owns at 894 OPS. Keep an eye on Carson Benj. He is a guy that could have, he has tremendous power. He's got raw power. That's a guy to keep a really close eye on. And he can be here very, very quickly. He's in St. Lucie right now. I would expect at some point next year, he'll probably start St. Lucie, but go to Brooklyn very quickly. And they probably won't keep him there that long. He might be a player that could be with the Mets in 2 years, by 2026. Fourth round pick Eli Serrano III had the second most hits with 7, going 7 for 19 with 2 doubles, a triple, and a home run. The NC State product also walked 3 times and stole a base. Serrano owns a 737 OPS in his first 14 pro games. Again, Eli Serrano III, the thought is that he is a guy that he could be a big power hitter too. But his power did not really blossom in college, so maybe he's more of a late bloomer than most kids are. 11 round pick Nick Roselli out of Binghamton University had an extremely impressive week. Going 6 for 17 with his first pro home run. 5 walks opposed to just 2 strikeouts and 2 steals. Roselli has played solely second base to start his career, and he owns a 931 OPS in his first 14 pro games. He's also a native of Binghamton. So this is the kid that I'm sure when he gets to Binghamton, he's going to get to Binghamton within the next year or two. It's going to be very popular, you know. 6th round pick Corey Collins only played in 3 games, going 3 for 10, but like Benj and Roselli, he also hit his first pro home run after launching 20 in his final year at the University of Georgia. The power hitting first baseman has played in just 5 games with St. Lucie thus far, but he owns at 912 OPS. He's another guy to keep an eye on. He's got a lot of power too. And like I said, he was in the same lineup as Charlie Condon. It's also worth mentioning that Marco Vargas, who has not been on the map much this year due to poor play and injury, went 3 for 8, with a double in 4 games. He's another player that's been injured all year. So many injuries to the position players that the Mets have. Like I said, Ryan Mauricio, Jet Williams, Drew Gilbert, Jacob Reamer, I would mention him, third baseman in the Mets minor leagues, and Marco Vargas. All these guys have had a lot of injuries this year and missed big portions of the season. DeAndre Smith is another one, although he's not a top 30 prospect. All these guys have missed so much time this year. The one thing about injuries, especially in the minor leagues, it's not so much you miss at bats or you miss innings. You miss the experience. And then you're a year older and you miss all this time with these major injuries. I mean, the Jeb Williams injury is just, very strange. It took them a long time to figure out what they wanted to do with him. And Drew Gilbert, when he injured his hamstring at the first week of the season, nobody knew he would be out like 3-4 months. It was not considered a very serious injury, but I guess it took him a long time to heal from it. Very, very disappointing year for him. But all these guys are very good prospects. They're not elite prospects, but they're going to be everyday players. I believe Drew Gilbert's going to be an everyday player. I think Jed Williams is going to be an everyday player, probably the future leadoff hitter on this team. Possibly, maybe not now, with Francisco Lindor doing so great. But you let me know what you think about this video. And, of course, please subscribe to the Prospect Hut, and I'll see you later.